What's up, guys? Wow. Is that one of the greatest UFC fight nights you have ever seen? Every fight delivered. Every single fight delivered. Now, I missed a couple fights. I missed the Fight Pass, and I missed the Angela Hill and Courtney Casey fight. But every fight I saw delivered. 100%. Almost all the fights were finished. Never sleep on these kind of cards, man. I'd rather have this kind of card than a pay-per-view with big names that doesn't deliver. Like, how many have we seen like that? So we're going to start with that main event. Justin Gaethje versus James Vick. Great win by Justin Gaethje, winning by first round knockout, one of the fastest fights in his career. He had a hard time with the kicks. The snap kicks from James Vick, the range was giving him a bunch of problems. He couldn't really find his range in the center of the octagon. But as soon as James Vick backed up to the cage, and Justin Gaethje was able to naturally pressure forward as James Vick had nowhere to go other than left or right or laterally, that's when Justin Gaethje was able to get past the kicking range. And now he's comfortable. He's in boxing range. Landed the left slap kind of to measure for the right hand. And we all know about James Vick. He always does it. Whenever he's trapped against the cage, he moves. And when he moves, chin up, hands down, every single time. Got caught by the right overhand, knocked out cold. He was out for minutes, it seemed like. And I'm very shocked about James Vick. He is a boxer. He has a boxing background. That's his background. And when Justin Gaethje got past the kicking range and into long boxing range, where were the jabs? Where were the long range punches from James Vick? He only had kicks. He didn't throw any punches on the feet. Even when Justin Gaethje was in distance for the punches, you gotta threaten him with something. You gotta make him cautious about something. You can't just allow him to walk in on you like that and then throw a left hand and then a right overhand. All you're doing is moving away with hands down, chin up. It looked like maybe he panicked a little bit. It's almost something like Stefan Struve, where everybody criticizes him for having the longest range in the UFC, but just doesn't use it correctly. James Vick is pretty much the Stefan Struve of lightweight. So yeah, awesome win by Justin Gaethje. Great win. First round knockout, easy win, didn't take any damage. And there's a lot for him now at the lightweight division. A lot of fun fights for the guy. And then we go to that co-main event, Michael Johnson versus Andre Fili. Michael Johnson won by a split decision. One of the judges is kind of crazy, 30-27, really? 30-27? He gave another 30-27 in the Courtney Casey fight. Now, I missed the fight, but a lot of people were telling me that it was not deserved. First round, I think, went to Michael Johnson. I think that's pretty much agreed on. Second round went to Andre Fili. It was the most dominating round. Almost had that rear naked choke and also went for that triangle. Won him the round easily. Third round was the controversial round. I initially had Andre Fili win the fight. I thought he won 29-28. I thought he won the third round due to the takedown and some of those kicks. I know a lot of the kicks were getting blocked. I was kind of overestimating the power that was going through the block because a lot of times we've seen a lot of people get knocked out blocking head kicks. No, Johnson was fine. He was just blocking them correctly. So I guess those are not really awarded. Some of the body kicks were landing. So when I look back at it, Johnson probably won that third round. He landed a lot of left straights in that third round as well as the entire fight. That's all he used. He landed one right hand in the entire fight. Just left hands, left straight, a couple left hooks, and that's it. Fili always threw was kicks. He threw a couple right hands, all were missing. He had good takedowns though. Shocking to see how easily he took down Michael Johnson because Johnson was known for good takedown defense. And not only that, what happened to Johnson's power? At 155, he was hurting everybody with that left hand. Justin Gaethje, Khabib, knocked out Dustin Poirier, hurt Tony Ferguson. At 145, he hit Fili with the same left hand, with the same kind of shots. Nothing. It looked like it didn't even affect Fili. Power seemed to not translate that well going down in weight class, which threw off my prediction a little bit. I didn't think Fili would be able to take his shots like that. I thought Johnson would have that power. If he was able to land a clean left hand, it would really hurt Fili. And another thing I didn't expect from Johnson was his willingness to keep it in the center of the cage. Fili was pretty much telling Michael Johnson to pressure him to the cage and cut him off. He kept going to the cage, kept moving in one direction, but no, Michael Johnson just allowed him to move back into the center. And Fili is the most exposed, he's the most vulnerable when he's on the cage, and you're kind of pressuring him and staying in boxing range. I'm just kind of shocked Johnson didn't take that. He didn't just stay there and look for the left hand. But close fight, good win for Johnson, his first win at 145. Fili's kind of having bad luck in his recent fights. He's a big guy for 145. I would not rule out him moving up to 155. He's a big guy for 145. He looked a little bit bigger than Johnson. But yeah, good win. There's a lot of matchups for Johnson there. He's going to be maybe around number 10, so there's a lot of matchups for him. And then we move to that Jake Ellenberger versus Bryan Barbarino fight. Glad Ellenberger hung him up. It's been a while. I think he should have retired a little bit sooner. He's taking a lot of damage. He got knocked out in the first round pretty easily. That was his 4th knockout loss in a row. And prior to his win to Matt Brown, he got knocked out plenty of times before that too. So I'm glad he retired. He retired in his hometown. Maybe that's what he was waiting for. It's not that he's old in general age. He's only 33. He's taking so much damage. He's been fighting for a long time. There was a point in time where he was known for a chin. He was known to take a shot pretty well. And he was known to be up there or just under guys like prime Robbie Lawler and prime Carlos Condit. He was just there. He almost beat Carlos Condit. Everything withered away with age. And Bryan Barbarino, left hands were missing. He doesn't set it up, like I said in my prediction video, he doesn't set him up with the jab. I would love to see him do that more. But he always follows them with the right hook, and that's what caught Ellenberger. And when Bryan Barbarino hurts you or he connects on you, his volume does not stop. His pressure does not stop until you're finished. And that's kind of what happened here. Great win by Bryan Barbarino. He's one of the most underrated fighters, I think. Everybody underrates this guy. It's just his look, I guess. But he's a dangerous fighter, spoiling everybody's party. And then we move to that flyweight fight. John Moraga versus Deiveson Figueiredo. Figueiredo knocks out Moraga in the 2nd round. Man, is Figueiredo powerful. This guy has that kind of power, 125. Moraga's tough. Moraga's known to have a chin. He's known to just be this really gritty fighter. He's fought the best guys at 125. Never was he knocked out or TKO'd. Never. The only time he was ever dropped was by John Dawson when he head kicked him. Now, Figueiredo did get dropped in that first round. He, got caught slipping there. Right hand dropped him a little bit. And then Moraga went for that heel hook, which won him the first round. Second round was very different. Figueiredo pressured him, took him down, landed some good ground and pound on top. As soon as they both stood up, and that usually happens where they get in a clinch, close exchange, Figueiredo's throwing elbows over the top, caught Moraga. Moraga starts covering up, gaining away. Figueiredo walks him down with a confident step, right hook over the guard, drops him like a brick. That was kind of shocking to see Moraga fall like that. Then Figueiredo started throwing ground and pound. There was a point where he threw a right hook as like a part of his ground and pound, and he did a 180. That's how hard he threw that right hook. Figueiredo just lined up an uppercut from the abyss, right to the solar plexus or somewhere in the body, drops Moraga hard. This guy's power is alarming. He put everybody on notice. And I've been telling you guys for a while, ever since my prospect video, where I had Figueiredo as the prospect of 125, 15-0 now, he's special. This guy's special. He has something about him. He has somewhat of an it factor as well. And he's a dangerous fight for the top guys. Now, Demetrius Johnson, I think, is the hardest fight for him. I think he can beat Henry Cejudo, or he's very competitive with Cejudo. He brings a very dangerous game to that fight, as well as against Sergio Pettis. Sergio Pettis will be a very competitive fight. I think they're very equal in a lot of areas. He's right there, man. I think he should slow down in the title shot. Henry Cejudo does not have any logical opponent unless DJ fights him, but DJ might be out with injuries. Will they give Cejudo Figueiredo? It won't be shocking, because there's no one else. But I think they should slow down. Give him someone like Benavidez or something. Line him up for that title shot. That power is nasty, man. Such huge power from this guy. And pretty cool personality. I mean, that celebration was pretty funny. And I don't even know what he was saying after until the translator said it. But even before the translator, I already like this guy. I really like him. And then we move to the Eryk Anders versus Tim Williams fight. Eryk Anders winning by 3rd round knockout with one of the most vicious head kicks I've ever seen. Lethal head kick. Williams looked pretty good. Being a plus 600 underdog, I know a lot of you guys that put money on Williams. When he was winning that fight, landing jabs from the outside, moving away from the left hand, using awesome head movement. A lot of you guys were getting excited, huh? Eryk Anders just had to spoil it. As soon as Eryk Anders just threw caution to the wind and started committing, he was landing first every time, and he was hurting Williams. Dropped Williams with the left hand. Williams tried to get up. He was getting up correctly, right? He wasn't getting up straight or just forward on all fours. He kind of scooted back, posted, and moved away from the opponent, but his head was on the wrong side, right in line for Anders' left high kick, which is his power leg. That was nasty, out cold. Great win by Eryk Anders. Then we moved to that James Krause versus Warlley Alves fight. Krause knocking out Alves or TKOing him against the cage in round 2. I thought it was a bit early of a stoppage. I think they could have just allowed Warlley to work a little bit more. Try to throw something back because that's what it looked like he was trying to do. He was rocked. He was definitely rocked. Krause seemed to be the much more technical fighter. Smooth, great technique in his punches. Almost Diaz'd him, you know? Came in at him with boxing, long range, southpaw for most of the fight. Volume punches, half punches, no real power until the finish. Wore down Alves, and I know that was part of his game because he saw him going to the body a lot, and Alves was swinging at him. He just wanted to take his head off. All play part of Krause's game. Just amazing game plan. And Alves, he moved in with the jab, lowered his levels, measuring for the right hand, like he was throwing the entire fight. Krause do a knee up, precise, just 100% accurate right there. Right when he lowered his levels, bam. And I don't know about Alves. I don't know why he's brawling so much lately. When he came off The Ultimate Fighter, he had such smooth footwork and clean striking. It was explosive, but he made his shots count every time. In this one, he looked pretty frustrated. He couldn't time Krause. It seemed like he was watching Krause. There was a point in the first round where he was just standing there taking shots, and it looked like he wanted to throw a punch. He just didn't know when. He was thinking way too much. He wasn't allowing his instincts to take over, and he wasn't reacting. He was just thinking. So great win by James Krause. Great move to welterweight from lightweight. I love this trend of fighters moving up weight classes, and it seems to be very effective. Then we moved to that Corey Sandhagen versus Alcantara fight. Fight of the night, definitely. Sandhagen winning by second round knockout. He was getting hurt in that first round. He got dropped, and then Alcantara almost had a close, if I'm not mistaken, it was an armbar. And then Sandhagen, just tough, man. His arm looked like it was going to snap. Toughed it through, able to get out of it. Landed big ground and pound, and that seemed to demoralize Alcantara. Second round came. Alcantara got very wild. Just moving all over the place. Sandhagen was able to land, I think it was a left hook or was a right cross that hurt Alcantara, and he was just wobbly everywhere to the point where Sandhagen just, all he had to do was just keep punching him on the ground until the ref stopped it. So great win by Sandhagen. He's a good prospect, 8-1, undefeated in the UFC. Looking forward to more of this guy's fights. And then we moved to that Mickey Gall versus George Sullivan fight because I did miss the Andrew Sanchez fight. Mickey Gall winning by a very quick rear naked choke. His movements looked pretty good, and as long as it lasted on the feet. George Sullivan was getting pressured pretty easily, and as soon as it got kind of close to the cage, as soon as they met those lines before the cage, Gall shot him for the single, turned over, dumped him down, right away to the back. Instantly right to the back, able to get it in, rear naked choke. Easy win for Mickey Gall. Fastest win on the entire card, I think. Yeah, fastest win in the entire card. Great win by Mickey Gall. Nothing else to say about that. Clean victory. Called out Sage Northcutt, if I remember correctly, which is kind of weird. I mean, you beat him, so why would you? I mean, sure, if you want it, you beat the guy, so I guess if you want that fight again, whatever. I don't think anybody else is that excited for it. But good win for Mickey Gall, a prospect. It looks like it's all paying off for the guy. Looking forward to a lot of his future fights as well. He has a lot of matchups for him, but just slow down with him. Slow down with the guy. Don't throw him against Tyron Woodley already. So that's it, guys. That's the reaction video. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure you give it a thumbs up. If you enjoy my content, make sure to subscribe. For my next video, it's going to be my post-fight matchmaking video where I'm going to really break down all the potential fights for all of the winners and losers on the main card. So be looking for that as well. That's going to come out probably by Monday or tomorrow. And then my podcast is going to be on Tuesday. I'm going to leave my community tab as usual for you guys to reply your questions under. And if you guys want to tweet me any questions, just hashtag it MMA meeting as you tweet it to me, or they'll get lost in the mix. I don't want you guys to waste your questions. So again, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.